Praise the Lord, good morning. There was a man who was supporting his children and his wife by selling salt. So his business was very small in a town, but he was able to carry out his livelihood. He had two sons. The younger one was very lively and very confident, but the older one was very shy and very weak in his confidence. So the father was very disappointed seeing the elder son because anybody says something, he will panic and he will not be able to do it completely. And this fear poisoned him in his education. So his education fell apart. He couldn't continue. So seeing this, the son is a failure in his studies. The father took him into the business and he told him, "You have to help me. So let's run the business." So one day the father was away, and few people came in. There were strangers who came in and told the boy that your father asked us to take all the sacks of salt and go to the next village. So you have to give us your load. But the boy couldn't process it. So before he could process anything, they took all the sacks, loaded it up, and they left. So the father came back and he saw and he was so angry. And he said, You are such a disappointment to me. I have built it for this long and you destroyed it one moment. So I don't think you are fit to be my son anymore. You get out of my house." So, with a very sad face, the boy left the house crying, and he came to one of the river banks and he sat and thought about his life, how much he's feeling shy and how people call him stupid, and what are the things that is running into his life. And looking at all these things, he thought, I don't deserve to live. You know, I don't have any strength to live anymore. And he wanted to jump into the water. As he was about to jump, an old man who held his hand and pulled him back. And he said, "What are you trying to do?" The boy was so angry, he shouted back, "Why did you stop me from dying? I want to die. I don't want to live." So the old man asked his problem, "What is your problem? Why do you want to die? Life is only once. You have to live it to the full. In case if you lose it, you will not know what you're capable of. So you have to live. Now tell me your problem." So the boy explains, "Yeah, I am just a disappointment to my father. There is nothing for me to live on this world. Everybody calls me stupid. And anything that I do it in a clumsy way. I'm not able to pick it up. I'm not able to face the people. There's no confidence in me. Only shyness and fear is ruling my life. So why should I live?" So the wise man smiled and he said, "Oh, this is a serious problem. Now come along with me to my home. I will tell you." Confused. The boy is very confused, but then still he had nothing to lose. So he followed the wise man and he went. So the old man, very humble way of living, he just took him in and he said, "I'm going to give you three tasks." Right? So, with the three tasks, I will tell you what is the success of life and how you can overcome this problem and live your life well. So, the first one you have to do is first thing in the morning, go around, talk to 10 strangers, and write about them in a book and come back to me. So he said, "Okay." And he went ahead, started talking. A few people said they are not interested, and then few gave him an opportunity to speak. So this person started speaking, and he very much, the way that he spoke made him very happy that as though he accomplished something in his life. He spoke to 10 people, and very surprisingly, he made some new friends for him. And then he came back home happy and he said, "Yes, I've done this task." And the second day, the wise man said, "Now look at the children playing in the riverbank. Go to them and tell them what is the importance of this water." The boy was very shocked. He said, "No, I can't do it because I have not studied." So the man smiled and he said, We do know that we have incapability, but do the children know that you don't have your educational background? No. So you don't have to tell them. You do what capable work you can show them. So talk to them about the importance of the water." So he took the children all along and took a glass of water and he explained 5 points telling why the water is important, why should they drink the water and how to use it. And for the first time it was little stumbling and the second time he got steadier. And that's how he covered a few people. And then he came home back and he said, I've done the second task as well. And this time he could see some improvement, that he is not fearing, but he's able to face the crowd and he can talk out what he wants to talk about. Now, the wise man said, the last task is that you have to get back to your father, apologize, and go along with him. This time, the boy was like really not happening. He said, no, no, no. If I wanted to go also, my father will not agree. So I just don't want to go. He, however, said that he is throwing me out of the house, that now if I go, he will not agree. But the wise man said, it's fine. Just go ahead and give it a try. Tell your father that you're sorry. So, only if you go, I will tell you the secret of the life. So, to listen to the secret of life, he was so desperate that he went to his father and he said that he's sorry about all the things that happened so far and he wanted to be with him and do the business proper. So, telling this, the father could find something different about the son. Now he's talking a bit more confident, and something is there, the resilience that comes out of him. So looking at it, he said, "Okay, fine. Now I'm going to give you certain instructions. Follow that and do the business along with me." So he agreed, and then again he came back to the old man and he wanted to know the secret of life. So yeah, he asked the man, "What is the secret of life now?" So the man smiled and he said, you already learned it. The first thing is that you should not fear about your life. And the confidence that you are building is that the belief that you have, you can make it, makes everything beautiful and makes everything successful. That is all. So you don't have to fear about anything. All you have to do is you have to take a step and stay strong and confident and believe that you can do it. So, listening to that, the boy was very happy. He went along with his father, did a business, and one fine day he became a very big businessman, known for his confidence and intelligence and the way he takes the things up. So, with all these things, what we learn in the story is something that many of them have a little confidence problem, even if you wanted to, even if they're very knowledgeable, yet the way of putting it out is a little difficult. It might go somewhere wrong, and you might tend to say something, but it'll mean something else, and all these things happen. So you decide that you're not a capable person. Everybody is capable on this earth, but only thing, fear rules certain people. When fear starts ruling you, and everything starts ruining around you, so you have to be very careful what rules you. So being overconfident is also one kind of, little painful, which also puts you into a ruining mode. But the fear that is there in you has to be destroyed. So, in the Bible, we see it's a very beautiful thing. If you see, there are 365 times it said, do not fear, do not fear, do not fear, each and every day. For each and every day, it is counted that God is telling it to you, saying, do not fear, for I am with you. Isaiah 41:10, very beautiful and well known verse. Do not fear, for I will help you with my righteous right hand. So, God is always with you. And it is very important for you all to understand how much God can do in your life in a greater sense. Some people think that, okay, this is not, I am not meant for this world, right? I cannot overcome certain things. And living for me is like, not worth it all, right? But if you live it to the full, you will know the real value and the potential. And taking a step to live for it is the capability that comes inside you, right? So with all these things, and second Timothy, in 1 chapter 1 verse 7, it says God has not given us the uh, the fear spirit, but he has given a spirit of love, self-control, and the conscience that God has given you is to upgrade you and not to destroy you. So it is very important for you all to stay strong, because the fear that comes in you might destroy everything around you. But I wanted to tell you today, God is there, always holding your right hand for anything that is destroying you. Always, remember that God is there and He will support you till the end. And this Sunday is the last Sunday of the year. We have come to the end of it. God has really brought us thus far, right? He was faithful to us. Remember all the goodness that He has done from the day one till now. So I also encourage there's 2026 waiting with great promises and lot of things that you expect. Probably 25 would have given you some sore situations in and around, but 26 might be even more better and wonderful here for y'all, because we trust only one thing, that Christ has done everything for us. There's nothing for us to be newly, doing it with all your efforts and all, nothing. It is all that Christ has already done it for us, and it is we who will take that courage to claim those things, right? Claim those strength, the love, and everything that God wants to give you all. So this Sunday, I just wanted you to wanted you to encourage and, live the blessed life that God has given you in the coming year. And always, remember the gracious God who took you and formed you and made you live is always there with you, and he will never depart from you. All you have to do is, you should trust that my Lord can do everything newly and better for me. So with that strength, go along and rock yourself, and then be happy and cheerful. That is what God always loves, his people being cheerful is one of the way that you will show that he loves you, right? His love is always a sustaining one. So this end year is always a blessing, and it has been a blessing, and we have a few more days to cover for this year. But this is the last Sunday of this year. So remember the goodness, and remember to thank God for every beautiful thing that He has done. And may God keep you very cheerful in the coming years and keep your blessing to many. God bless you. Thank you.